Have you ever noticed something that the moment you finally walk away, you stop looking back and suddenly your ex becomes everything that you have been asking for all along? The apologies, they start rolling in. The love messages all of a sudden appear. Mutual friends suddenly become messengers. Coincidence? Not always. When someone has relied on control, admiration, or manipulation to keep a relationship going, losing access to you can trigger a desperate attempt to pull you back in. Today, we're going to talk about the 10 things a narcissist may do when they realize that they have lost you forever. Let's get started. Number 1. They all of a sudden become the person you have always wanted. For years, they ignored your concerns, dismissed your feelings, and refused to change. Then suddenly, they're apologizing, they're listening, they're affectionate, they're promising therapy, personal growth, and a whole new future together. Let me give you an example. The person who refused to communicate for 5 years suddenly sends a message saying, "I've changed. I finally understand what you needed." Funny how that realization shows up after you leave. The second one is they hoover you. What does that mean? Hoovering is when someone tries to suck you back into the relationship. They may send emotional texts, gifts, old photos, or messages about special memories that you shared. Let me give you an example. Out of nowhere, out of the blue, they text you a picture from your favorite vacation together with the words, "Remember when we were happy?" The goal isn't always healing. Sometimes it's reestablishing access to you. The third one is fun. They play the victim. Instead of taking responsibility, they rewrite the story. Now they're the one who was abandoned. Now they're the one who was mistreated. Not everyone is hearing their version of events. Let me give you an example. They tell family and friends, "I did everything for them and they just left me." Meanwhile, they leave out the years of unhealthy behavior that led to the breakup. The fourth one is definitely going to boil your blood. They smear your reputation. When playing victim isn't enough, they may try to damage your image. They spread rumors, half-truths, or outright false stories. Let me give you an example. People suddenly start asking strange questions because they've heard things about you that simply just aren't true. The goal is often simple. Make themselves look innocent and make you look like the problem. Number 5, they use other people to reach you. This one's annoying. You block them. You stop responding. So now they recruit others, friends, relatives, coworkers, even mutual acquaintances. Let me give you an example. A friend calls and says, "They're really struggling. Can you just talk to them one more time?" The message may sound very caring, but it's often another way to bypass your boundaries. Ooh, the sixth one is juicy. They try to make you jealous. Nothing says, "I'm totally over you," quite like posting 47 photos with a new partner 3 days later. Suddenly, social media becomes a stage. Let me give you an example. They're constantly posting romantic dinners, vacations, and captions about finding true happiness. The message isn't always directed at the new partner. Sometimes it's directed at you. Number 7, they test your boundaries. They don't always accept no the first time, or the second time, or even the 10th time. Let me give you an example. They text you a random question, then all of a sudden they call, then they happen to show up somewhere they know that you're going to be. Each interaction is testing whether your boundaries are still firm. Number 8, they remind you of the good times. They become historians of happy memories. Suddenly, every conversation focuses on vacations, anniversaries, and inside jokes. Here's an example. They say, "Remember how amazing we were together?" What gets left out are the arguments, the manipulation, and the unhealthy patterns that cause the relationship to end. Selective memory can be a powerful, powerful tool. Number 9, they become angry when you don't respond. At first, they're sweet, then they're persistent. Then they're frustrated. And when they realize they're not getting the reaction that they want, affection may quickly turn into anger. Let me give you an example. One day they're sending love messages. The next day they're insulting you, blaming you, or making threats. Why? Because the loss of control is becoming real. Number 10, they cannot understand your peace. Perhaps the most difficult thing for them is to accept seeing you moving on, seeing you heal, seeing you smile, seeing you thrive without them. Here's an example. Months later, they learn you're happy, you're healthy, and focused on your future. Instead of celebrating your growth, they become upset because your happiness confirms that they no longer have influence over your life. And that's a reality they may struggle to accept. It is important to remember that not everyone with narcissistic traits behaves this way, and these behaviors alone don't diagnose somebody as having a narcissistic personality disorder. However, when a person has relied on control, manipulation, or constant validation, losing access to someone can sometimes trigger intense efforts to regain that influence. The most powerful response isn't arguing, it isn't proving your point, and it isn't getting revenge. It is protecting your peace and continuing to move forward. Have you ever experienced any of these behaviors after ending a relationship? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Here's a friendly tip on how to deal with narcissists, because I was married to one for over 10 years. When you guys end the relationship and you move forward and you continue to heal, let me just tell you, no response is a response. Do not give in to them. Do not say anything. Just ignore them, be happy, and move on. I hope this tip helps you. I will be doing more videos on narcissists in the future. Have an amazing day, everybody. Bye-bye.